Hey, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and supporting me, really doing it. I've taken on a mission, a purpose, a goal, a vision, a tough one, but needs to be done. And I keep going back and forth with myself. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to help with homelessness? Why do you want to help to end? Why do you want to do that? What drives you to do that? Knowing there's no real big payout, no big money grab to be made, nothing is I think about the times when I was homeless. I was lost. I was alone. I was just getting clean and sober. It was during the pandemic. It was like the wild, wild west. I saw my life going nowhere real quick, and I had to make a change. And today, as I walk down the street, I live in Seattle. I live in Seattle where homelessness is everywhere. It's a city full of people who have made the wrong choices. They're doing drugs. It's a laundry list of things. What comes to my mind, guys, and I kid you not, when I was at my lowest, I felt like a lost puppy dog. You know, on the outside looking in, I'm no longer homeless, but when I look at where I was, it was if I had never been homeless before, it'd almost be looking at it as if like a lost dog, a stray puppy, a stray cat, the way that the world treats you, the way that world looks at you as if you're an animal, as livestock, as something that it's rough because that's the way I feel looking back at where I was and today. I felt like I was in a shelter. I could go anywhere I wanted to go, but I felt like a dog in an animal shelter because I was in a big city. I was in Seattle. That's what I felt. It was like you could see me on display. Take me home, give me a chance type thing. I didn't feel like that then, but when I got off the streets, that's how I had felt, and I couldn't put a word on it. And that's why I want to give back. There's so many people out there. You feel you feel like you're giving up on life, and that life has given up on you. And it truly is a chore to get your food every day, to stay safe, to get sleep where you can. And it doesn't matter if you're doing drugs, drinking, that's just a coping mechanism. It truly is. It's a coping mechanism. There's a lot more to what people see. And I'll give you an example. I'd wake up at 5 in the morning in the shelter with 30 other men on mats. They don't give you food, they just give you a shelter, a mat, and a blanket to sleep with. So I'd get pushed out into the middle of downtown Seattle at 5 a.m. And here I am. No buses aren't running yet, you know. So what I did is I'd start walking towards the Space Needle. And I did that every day for darn near a year and a half. I'd wake up 5 a.m., kicked out, and I'd go down to the Space Needle because there was a little church right next door that would hand you a sack lunch and they'd get you some soup, some hot soup in the morning. So this is about 8:30. So I'd walk around and I'd get a shower in about once a week. And then they had like day shelters we'd be able to stop in and hang out for an hour or two. But for a while it was getting rides on the bus where I'd have to beg for a ride. I had no money. And I'm not like one of those guys who just walk on the bus. But I digress. What makes me want to change this? What makes me want to end it? It's because I know there's a better way. I know where to achieve where other places have failed. I know. I have the plan. I know the ins and outs. And I'm going to let more and more as I go along, but I wanted to check in for the day and tell you that it's kind of like when you see trash on the streets, and homeless people are not trash. I'm just saying this is from someone who's trying, from the outside looking in. If I was going to come and I was in charge of cleaning up an apartment, I look at what's going on around me, the trash laying on the ground. I know what to handle first, right? That's just the way I want to clean my streets up. I want to make my streets safer, not just for people who have apartments, but for the homeless as well. I want to make it safer. I want to create a safe place for long-term stability. A place where homeless people can come off the streets and learn a trade skill to give back to society, be able to work, not just see, I don't want to go too much further. I'm just going in little bit by little bit. I just want to let you know why I want to do what I want to do. It's not for recognition. It's not for clout. It's not for a cash grab. It's because I want to make my world better. I want to give a chance to someone who thinks not worthy of another chance. Do you get it? I see the psychological aspects of someone who's deteriorating really quick, who has given themselves up to the streets, almost like the reverse of being institutionalized. When you're homeless long enough and you start giving up on life and you feel like just existing, that's what happens. The light in someone's eyes goes off, and it's hard to get that back. But I know I can get that back for others. I know what it takes. And this is not an easy job. It's not an easy mission. It's not an easy vision. But in order for this to get done, it must be done by someone who's been there. Someone who has the resume to accomplish it, and that's me. Do you get it? That's me. I have the resume. I went through the boot camp of life like I did so I can get to this crossroads to confidently say I can get it done. You know, I can build, I guess, in a sense, of utopia for all, a balanced, true equilibrium for all walks of life. To give a leg up to someone who has chosen to lay flat on the ground and give up, that kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? So when I look at my streets in Seattle, I look at what I can accomplish and how big it is. And it takes a big heart, it takes a big soul, it takes someone with a broad scope of mind to take on such a challenge, such a task. You get what I'm saying? And I know I can do that. I've lived a hard life. I'm 45 years old today. Not today, but I'm 45. I'm going to be 46 soon. And I know there's a better way, a softer way, a way to give back to humanity something that's been given to me. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's almost like if you watch a video with, people at shelters saying to adopt pets, right? There's one guy who made a YouTube channel about sitting with dogs, right? And he fights for them to be adopted, that type of thing. But that's how I felt at the lowest point in my life. Was I felt like a dog. I felt like I wasn't worth something. And there's so many people out there who were where I was, or is right now where I was. I just made better choices. I was a trailblazer of sorts, I guess. I'll paint a picture of who I am as I go along and I get more viewers. I'll open myself up more. But I thought about that today. I need to let my people know why I do what I do. It's not an easy task, but we need to do something bigger, something different with homelessness. Don't put a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. I can't say that enough. But this is not an easy job that I'm taking on. It's not. It needs support. It needs support from you. simply liking, sharing, subscribing. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy for someone to get out in the world and say, I'm going to end homeless. It's not easy. But bit by bit, step by step, I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. You know, the world's changing in such a big way, you know, with all these executive orders, and you know what's going on with Washington, D.C. right now. That's going to be coming to every city, you know, to clean it up. It's almost like going across America and power washing the streets. That's kind of what Trump is taking on right now. And I want to take that head on, not in a counterproductive way, but say, look, let's work together. Let's get this done. I have the game plan for all demographics. You know, there's an imbalance. I have to say there's an imbalance. You know, people are good at one or the other. You know, they've closed down mental institutions. They've closed down treatment centers. You know, a lot of the things that can have the greatest impact. If I set my mind and my heart to do something, I don't do it half-assed. Okay. I didn't do my addiction half-assed. I went all the way with it, and I had to do it in my recovery. See, the world needs a better way of tackling all of the issues: mental health, homelessness, addiction, because they all go hand in hand. They all go hand in hand, but they don't look at it that way. Get what I'm saying? Just putting band-aids on gushing wounds here, there, and there, but nothing real groundbreaking. They haven't made any strides in improving any of it, really, in decades. That's who I am. I've been put on this earth to do it better. I've been through my training. I've been through my evolution. I've been through my boot camp, so I can sit here and say I am best suited to handle this. The universe knows, God knows I am. You know, and I need your help. Like, share. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. It helps. It gives me this platform, guys. You know, I'm taking on a big mission, and I need your help to do that, guys. I really, truly do. I can't say it enough. But before I go, one thing that stands out in my mind, guys, and my stepfather taught me this before he passed away. You know, it's kind of like the saying, you can give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. One of the pillars to my plan, not just to take somebody off the street and give them a home, but teaching them, guiding them along the way, giving them safety nets, hearing them, seeing them, guiding them throughout life, watching them grow. I've done that, guys. I'm kid you not, I was homeless during the pandemic. Homeless, living in a garage, a U-Park garage, getting high every day during the pandemic. I said, there's a better way. I have to change. I got into a shelter. They had just opened it. Finally, they had just opened it. And I decided to stop using it. And back then, when I got up and I'd go to the bus stop to go to an AA meeting, I literally had to high jump over people handing me tinfoils to get high. The devil trying to keep me bound and tied, basically. You get what I'm saying? That's what I had to do to get to an AA meeting, to get clean and sober. See, what I had been through, what I was going through, I didn't know that it was going to be preparation for what I'm doing today. I didn't know that. I thought I was just getting my life on track. It was building me and preparing me so I can stand here today, say, look, I'm your man. I'm the one. I'm going to get it done. I have the game plan, not just to start, but to the finish. I am that one. So again, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.